So this is Patty, Joe's mom. Hi, Patty.
Hi.
My first question for you is, what made you concerned that something was off with Joe?
When he was probably about 6 months, he would cry all the time. He didn't like affection. He wasn't meeting the milestones that all the other babies were, and I read all the books, and he wasn't meeting any of the milestones, and he wasn't interested in anything. He would not look at toys, and he would just stare at ceiling fans, and typical autism behaviors now, but back then I had no idea. So, around 6 months, and then we, saw the pediatrician and voiced our concerns, and around 18 months, he was officially diagnosed. So, but yeah, so it was, just not being affectionate. He used to cry all the time. He only liked being in the swing. He didn't like being held. So, those were the issues that we were experiencing.
Was it an easy diagnosis, or did it take time?
It was a pretty easy diagnosis. It wasn't, they didn't give him a multidisciplinary diagnosis at 18 months. Pretty much a neurologist looked at him and just told us. He could just tell by looking at him, so it was a very quick diagnosis. It was done in the city at Cornell, and but for us it was devastating. But it's, it was, at the time we knew, so it was easy because now we knew we had to work on something. So
how did it impact your family?
At the time of diagnosis, I had an infant son at the same time, so it was kind of hard, because then therapists had to come to my house, and it was a revolving door of therapists. One left and one came. So you have to transform your whole life and your home, and also just how to get lots of input. So you had to be open to suggestions from everybody.
Right.
So, instead of you just being the mom and doing it the way you feel that you wanted to raise your child, you had to get input from all these different professionals of what you need to be doing differently, which might not be typical, of a mom to do with your child. So, it was very difficult in that respect, but after seeing improvements, it made all the difference. So, at that point, as soon as you saw a glimmer of hope,